Hey, let's get this party started. I want to talk to you guys about music production, but I want to talk to you about sound selection. Now, there's a forum that I moderate for Brick's Domain. He's the producer for Drake, he's produced for Gunna, he's produced for Kevin Gates, Thug, Lil Baby, he's worked with Lil Wayne, he's worked with Nicki Minaj. Bricks is a really nice guy, really good guy. He lives in Atlanta. Well, he lives between Atlanta and Africa now. He's moved out to Africa. He's done so well with his music production. But on the forum and in several music forums, I mean, you can go on Discord and go into a producer grind thing. I can go onto another producer's Discord. I can go to a different website. I can go on another forum, so not just Bricks' forum. And I keep seeing the same thing. So I see people uploading music saying, oh, what do you think of my beat? Oh, what do you think of these sounds? Oh, what do I need to improve? Blah, 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 blah. I think what people aren't doing is working on their sound. And when I say working on their sound, like I've got an instrumental playing in the background of this video, of this vlog. And it's not my new stuff. It's one of my old beats from like 2023, I think. It's About Time is old, but it's got the most plays. You know, it's streamed the most. People tag it in their videos and reels and stuff. And when I make music, I have such a strict setup that I've had no choice but to develop my own sound. So when I'm creating music, I never use more than 3 instruments, and I always use 3 instruments. I want to create a chorus, and even that's now being chopped down to 2. So when I'm playing, like the intro might have 2 sounds. There could be a bass and like a bell, but when it drops, that might change to strings or synth or something else. When it comes to drums, I think a lot of people don't have consistency in their sound because they're playing around. And on my computer, on my tablet, I have an 808 folder. It's got 2 808s in there. Which 808 do I use for my instrumentals? One 808. The other 808 is Brix's from his, what's it called? From his All White Bricks 2 kit, drum kit. And I took one 808 from there, and it's a really nice 808, but it's not mine. So I'm gonna delete that today. I'm minimizing. My hi-hats, I have 4 hi-hats in my kit, but I only really use 2, so I'm gonna chop that down to 2 today. My snares, I have 4 snares, but I think I do need them. I'm gonna play them through and listen to them after this vlog, see which ones I need. My open hi-hat, I have 2, that's completely fine. I'll leave it as it is, although I'm starting to only use 1, but I will keep 2 in there for now. So like snares, like I said, you only really need 2 snares, but I've got 4 because one of them's a rim shot, which is still the snare, but it's just, you know, it's just a side for certain instrumentals. What else is in there? Apologies, that's my air freshener, and it's already happened. I'm not recording this again. Yeah, like take the sounds you need. Like even one of my snares is from Bricks' drum kit. Bricks' drums are hard. He's just put out a new kit. I hope I remember. I'll put a link in the description if it's on his website. I saw it on the forum this morning, but if it's on his website for sale, I'll put that in the description. So if you guys are interested, you can buy it. But my point is, with all these drum kits out there, with all these sound kits out there, with all these oh, you should buy this, you should buy this. What's the point? I use Zonology Pro for a reason. Now, Zonology Pro has got my classic Roland U110 sounds. That is a shit sound module. It sounds horrible, but it's got them dirty drum sounds, old drum sounds and cymbals, and the way I play my hi-hat is a basic, you know, 2-step pattern, if that's what we're gonna call it. But behind that, I've got tambourine, I've got this, that. That's coming off Zonology. I have my sounds. The majority of the sounds I'm using in my production, I'm clicking JV 1080 on Zonology. So I'm using old school sounds, but I'm using brass, I'm using piano, I'm using strings, I'm using synths. They still sound hot today. By the time I run it through a filter, by the time I put a little LFO on it, by the time, and here's another thing I do, that I haven't told anyone. I'm putting vibrato on quite a lot of my synth sounds. So my editing is simple. vibrato, cutoff, resonance. These are the standard knobs that you can turn in the smaller section of Sonology. I don't open it up, I don't go into all them filters and all the extra stuff. I'm very, very simple when I make music, but vibrato is what's giving it that slightly old sound and making it sound weird, and it works. It works. My advice, I'm not the best producer in the world, I'm not the best at making music, but my advice would be to minimize your sound selection until you can create a consistent sound. So if I open up my DAW now, my digital audio workstation, and start making music, I can select probably nearly any sound. I can select any synth, I can select any of my bass sounds, like from my one-shot kit. I can select any piano, any whatever, and I can make it work, but that's taken time, and I know Sonology. Like I love how loud the sounds are. So when I press record, once I've recorded that sound, I render it to audio, but I render it, near on as loud as I can. I want a strong waveform, and then all I'm doing is pulling down the fader to mix my sounds. But yeah, regarding drums, if I open up your computer and you've got 300 drum kits, what is your sound? What's your sound? If I go to Neptune's in the 90s and I say, Pharrell, you see how your drums were just banging and it was sick? I know that he was using a Korg Triton. I open up a Korg Triton VST or rack that my friend's got in Great Yarmouth, or the keyboard that my friend's got in London. The sounds are exactly the same. We did a blindfold test in Atlanta, no one could tell the difference. Another test we did was a JV1080 sound module, old school. Then we had an MPC playing the 128 piano, which we sampled and put into the an Akai S1000. And we played the same 128 piano, it's just a typical piano, inside the JV1080 VST that was on my tablet. And we played it in Sonology Pro 128 piano. Blindfold test, no one could tell the difference. So it's the same thing. It's ones and zeros at the end of the day on a chip, making the same sound. But yeah, I would say minimize your sound. Like I said, I have two 808s in my kit, but I've got Brix's All White Bricks 2 sat there, or the 808 sat there. I've got another kit full up of 808s. I'm not using them. I'm not even testing them. Like, it's not my sound. I just need one decent 808, which I have, one or two decent bass sounds. I've got some bass sounds from Bricks. I'm gonna minimize them and chop that down to 2 today. You don't need that many sounds. I mean, if I want more bass sounds, I've got Sonology, you see? But for the core of your sound, have 1, 2, 3, no more than 4 basses that you use. Have no more than 2 kicks. I've got 2 kicks on my computer. Have no more than 4 snares. I think it's better to work on your own sound, so that way you've created something. And if you hear something nice, like I did in All White Bricks 2, cool, yeah, I'm taking that. That snare's hard, so I took a snare. I really liked one of his 808s. Oh, yeah, the 808's hard, so I took the 808. And I'll consider whether I delete his second 808 today, but I'm definitely minimizing my kit. I'm dropping the hi-hats, like I said, from 4 to 2. I might even drop the snares. If I want a rim shot, that's what Sonology's for. I don't need all these sounds. I want to get on with my job, get it done. So 3 instrumental sounds is what I do. After the instrumental sounds, I'll play in the percussion, which I could do myself, or I'll use a percussion loop from Producer Grind, which is fine, anyone can do that. After the percussion loop is my hi-hat. So this will be track number 5. After my hi-hat is usually my open hat. After my open hat is my clap or my snare. Now that's the body of the track already done. Then I'll either have a counter snap or a counter clap or a counter snare. Then I'll have another percussion sound. I'm using the bongo recently, but that can be anything. It can be an effects sound. It can be a whole load of effects using that section. And underneath that, 808 or bass. Done. That's it. 10 tracks, limited sound selection, 1 instrument VST installed. I did just install vinyl guitar, ESW, vinyl guitar 2, and I haven't even tested it yet. I might give that a go this afternoon, but generally 1 VST. The rest of my effects are for vocals only, so there shouldn't be more than 4 or 5 VSTs installed on my computer at a time. I still do testing as well. So there's a couple guys who make VSTs at producer sources. Now they're based between Dubai and Morocco, I think, but they're mostly in Dubai. That's where the offices are. No, Dubai and New York, I think. Oh, whatever. But I've done a lot of testing for them with their VSTs, but I never keep the VSTs. I'll install it, test it, make sure it's working, because my tablet doesn't have an internal fan. It's Intel i5, it's old school, it's using thermal cooling. So if it works on my tablet, it has to work for everyone else. But yeah, I'd say that's it. Minimize your sounds, try and work with less sounds, try and work with just 2 sounds. You know, I got really good at creating music when I limited myself to 8 tracks, so I could only have 2 sounds in my song because I need the rest of the space for the drums. And that really made me get creative, because the first instrument, for example, I'll have to flip it, I'll have to reverse it, I'll have to chop it. That will be the verse. Then it'll go back to what I played for the chorus. But then the second verse, I might just half time it. I'm just playing with that one sound and making something out of it. Excuse me, sorry, I had to burp. But yeah, hopefully someone got something from this video. And if you like the video, if you like the channel, feel free to support me. I also see, this is silly, I shouldn't say this. I sell a VST drum kit that I made, but don't buy it. You see, you don't have to buy it. What's the point? You can get your own sound. All the drums in there are hard. The drums in there are, but which of those drums am I using? 2 or 3 of them. One of my snares is from Bricks. The other 3 are out of that kit, but I have them in the thing to throw. I have them in a folder to throw in the sampler, so I don't open the VST. But yeah, the VST comes with all my drum sounds, but it also comes with my one-shots. So the sounds that I'm using, my bells, my synth sounds that are insane. We ran them through analog gear in Atlanta. My leads, they all ran through analog gear. So all I'm doing is dragging it into the sampler and playing it with one finger. It's a synth. You know, I'm rarely playing chords with synths. It's one finger. Like I said, add some effects to it, maybe cut off a little bit, or cut off a little bit for the first half of the first 4 bars, then bring it back up for the second 4 bars. Vibrato is my little trick that I've told you guys. I've not really told anyone that. But yeah, hopefully this video helps someone. And if you like the video, if you like the content, feel free to leave a comment, feel free to leave us a like, feel free to subscribe, or buy us a drink if you want. If you want to buy us a coffee, you can. I'm not asking people to, but you're welcome to. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next video.